Right, OK, what he's telling you here is the wall here is too close to the boundary here. You have to knock it down and build it back here.
I don't want to knock it down.
We could move it.
If I try to move a brick wall, the house will fall over.
You don't think I'm doing this for your boss, I hope?
I hope you're doing this for me, Greg.
And because I believe in private childcare, Marilyn. Just wanted to wish you the best of luck for tonight.
Oh, thanks, Rick.
I've enjoyed working with you and I sincerely hope the privilege will continue. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck for tonight and say that I hope I have the privilege of working together with you as mayor this year.
You got rid of Helen yet?
I'm working on it, Biddy.
The business of our meeting is the election by the councillors of 2 of their number into the offices of Mayor and Deputy Mayor. Those supporting Councillor Marchant, 3 votes. Those supporting Councillor Dunkley, 5 votes for Councillor Dunkley. I declare Councillor Dunkley duly elected Mayor of Arcadia Waters City Council. Congratulations.
You moron. Perhaps now you will not take me for granted.
I suppose I should thank you for my first lesson in politics.
Karen, I get the feeling you're a very quick learner.
For the next 12 months.
The next 12 months!
And what's happening, Cole?
Oh, a lot of tremendously exciting things.
Give us a hint.
Tell us one tremendously exciting thing.
Well, council renovations.
Oh, very exciting.
The festival.
Oh,
we know
the festival.
A lot of the Down to Serve Club.
Yeah.
What we want.
Is the usual beach party.
And the sausage.
Yeah, right. Well, I think we can do a bit better than a sausage sizzle. We take the few bucks that we throw into the sausage sizzle, the few bucks we throw into the bloody pullers and weavers and the bloody flower arrangers and the women's choir and everything else. If we're all together, we do something big.
Very popular.
That's the sort of limited thinking we're going to stop, Harry. We're going to stop saying this is only Arcadia Waters, nothing ever happens here. We're going to start saying yes! 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 This is Arcadia Waters!
And another thing, Biddy, sometimes you are rude to Salwa.
Yeah, we just want you to keep your femininity.
If you could just control your temper,
Darling, you might take a little look at the way you relate to women. With men, there's clearly no problem. With women...
OK, I blew it. Don't have to keep saying it over and over again. Order me dessert, nothing with apricots or raisins.
Early for you, George?
No, I like early stuff.
Oh, yeah, so do I. Looks like an exciting year ahead of us.
Yeah, you get this little project off the back burner, now you're mayor again, which I always thought you would be.
Yeah, otherwise you'd have been here with Biddy.
She wouldn't appreciate the subtleties of this.
Oh, don't kid me, George. If Biddy been mayor, you'd have been dealing with her.
Needs your special touch, Cole.
Anyway, fortunately, it's all academic now, George. Church still want to develop it, do they?
Yep, they need the money.
Well, any progress on the kind of development that they're thinking of?
No, they just want to put the road in and subdivide it into individual residential lots and sell it off. It's a simple solution for that.
Very unimaginative.
Yeah, so the sort of development you see over here, just continue right across there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a shame when you consider the potential.
In fact, it's a very good opportunity.
Well, that's exactly why I've been talking to you
Very
about
exciting. I mean, this could be everything we've always said we wanted new development to be.
Yep.
Environmentally sustainable, socially responsible, good design, building a better community.
All of that.
Could be a showpiece.
Certainly could.
People come from all over the world to see what we do here in Arcadia Waters.
Yeah, if we go about it the right way.
Is it a big if or a little if?
It's a pretty big if. That's why we've been keeping quiet on it. Otherwise, in a blink of an eye, you get all the protest groups out in force.
Tell me
telling us we
about it.
can't do anything here.
You know one of the great tragedies of the modern democracy, George? Protest groups only ever form to stop things. I mean, where's the protest group? It says, give us change, give us a better world.
Only ever negative.
Only ever negative. Tragedy of the modern democracy.
Yeah. Which is why we've got to tread carefully and quietly with this one.
This is absolutely tremendous, George. Tremendous. Is there any way, bearing in mind what you just said about treading carefully and quietly, which I completely agree with, by the way, but any way we can get Helen to put out a press release on this afternoon?
No.
You know, just something to kick off the new mayoral year with a big announcement.
I've got to keep quiet on this one.
How long?
Well, as long as it takes to find the right developer, and we've got to get them together with the church. We get a design for the whole thing.
Right.
Nice little model, video, and then we present the whole thing to the council and the community, and we get them all on side.
Right, so we're talking days, weeks?
Months. Could be a year, something as big as this.
What, no announcement of any sort until then?
No, this is top secret.
Yeah, all right, George. Well, you better get moving on it. Anything you can do to bring the date forward.
Oh, I'll do what I can.
Yeah, good. Good. Good, George.
Yeah, you know that big project on the headland that I couldn't tell you anything about? Yeah, well, it's still under wraps, but it's got a problem.
Well, how can I help you if you can't tell me about it?
Well, no, it's got a marketing problem. Oh, the place is called Cemetery Point. It's hardly a great name for a world-class something we're going to build up there.
But does it matter if you can't tell anybody?
No, I thought you could start thinking of a better name.
What about Tombstone territory or Boot Hill? Or if you want to go upmarket, what about Calvary?
That's something a bit less gravy, mate.
Heaven on a stick? Okay, what about Marlborough Country then?
Be serious, mate.
Okay, St Peter's Gate then?
Hey, that'll do for now. Just keep thinking on it, all right?
Hey, don't tell me it's can-do Cole Dunkley, Mayor of Arcadia Waters.
G'day, Frank.
You know, I know this is a little tin pot outfit you're running out here, but do people really think that you're the best they can get for a mayor? God, what a sad reflection on the country.
Thanks for letting me invade your management sewing circle, Greg.
I'm sure we're all looking forward to another exciting and productive 12 months.
Yes, which is why I thought I'd like to kick off the new mayoral year with a couple of, well, look, I think they're important thoughts.
Look, I hate to interrupt you so early, Cole, but I'd be failing in my duty if I didn't remind you that we're broke.
No, I know. And I am taking that into account. And the first point's not about money. It's about, I'd like to see more a sense of unity, right? A sense of us all working together as a team
Now,
this
look,
year.
I really must protest.
It's okay, Greg. This is not a criticism
Cole,
of...
No, I work very hard at team building, OK? I've put in place a solid structure of network engineering, outcome sharing tools, harmony benchmarks, performance appraisal and feedback, risk-reward trade-offs, and yes, it's all inside a quality assurance and just-in-time matrix, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, but sometimes, Greg, despite the undoubted good intent of your MBA training, I sometimes get the feeling that some sections of council are actively working against other sections instead of with them.
And nowhere more so than among the councillors.
Fair point.
No, you take care of you take care of unity amongst the councillors. I will take care of unity amongst the staff.
Right, well, that is what I was going to ask you to do, Greg.
Yeah, you do your job and I will do mine.
If you'd let me finish.
In fairness to Greg, Cole, you got to give him a couple of brownie points for never using the phrase one big happy family.
I think meaningless cliches should be avoided like the plague.
No, 9 to 5 is the general rule, and that's everywhere, except libraries, engineering, building applications, development applications, childcare centres, council meetings. I'm sorry, can I help you?
I know where I'm going.
Sorry, Mrs. Harkness, what was I up to? Engineering.
The point is, Greg, that with all those really wonderfully, tremendously exciting things that are going to be happening this year, we're all going to have to put in an extra effort, go that extra mile.
No, look, I really must protest, Cole, because it is...
Now look what he's doing to me.
Mrs.
I'm sorry, I couldn't stop her.
No, it's all right, Janice, I know, Cheryl. Look, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to deal with this. I would like to continue this discussion at some point in time, all right? It'll have to be another time. Cheryl, we'll go into my office. Sorry about this, people, but he stuck that in your front yard.
Look, I think it is outrageous of Cole to suggest that all of his problems will be solved if we just work a bit harder.
No, I wouldn't worry about it. If he has any good ideas, we'll make sure they happen. If he has any bad ones, we'll make sure they don't. Situation normal.
I assume this is Frank Brodie again?
But what can you do to stop him?
Well,
Nothing.
Hey, we can make sure he doesn't get away with it.
Anyone want tea or coffee? I just want someone to stop him building his ugly big buildings right next door to me.
Janice, yeah, strong coffee for me, thanks.
You keep telling me you've stopped him. Now he's back again. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we can't stop him lodging a development application.
You can't stop him doing anything.
No, hey, we rejected him twice before and we'll reject him again.
You said that last time.
No, we've outsmarted him. Look, we've declared your street a heritage area. You can't build this sort of monstrosity in a heritage area. You can't.
You know, you had me trusting you.
Yeah?
When
Yeah,
this
well, I
all
hope that will
started, I was
continue.
going to sell and move on, and you said, don't do
Right.
it, Cheryl. Stay put.
Right.
The council will look
Right.
after you.
And we will.
So how come I've had 6 solid months of intimidation?
Right, well, I am sorry
You've
about
had nothing.
that. However, I
I've
think we
copped
can
it
turn
all.
this to our advantage.
Our advantage.
Look, I give you my personal word, Cheryl. I'll put
Don't
this in.
make
No,
any
I will put this in
promises.
front of everything else that I'm doing. I will not rest, Cheryl, until we've beaten Frank Brodie and sent him packing.
No, you've already moved on to something else. What about this big festival or
No,
something?
the festival is only one of a number of things that we're looking into, but let me reassure you, Cheryl, nothing is as important to me as protecting our local heritage, and that means your street.
So, what are you going to do?
Stop Frank Brodie. I mean it, Cheryl. I mean it. I give you my personal word on this. I will not let you down. And you saw the sign. Skull and crossbones.
Yeah, well, he's a thug.
That's what he is, George. He's a thug. Frank Brodie's a greedy, uneducated hoon. It's up to us to stop him before he ruins the whole of that heritage area.
He just gives the developers a bad name.
He was in here this morning in a Mercedes. You know he's driving a Merc these days?
They're nice cars.
No, you'd not to buy a house for the price of one of those.
Oh, have you ever been in one?
Frank Brodie's a shonk, mate. We've got to stop him.
They're very smooth, you know, very quiet, although, personally, I'd rather have a Jag. Have you seen the new one? I've got the brochure here somewhere.
Hey, personally, George, I'd rather get rid of Frank Brodie.
Yeah, but he said that if we reject his application again, he'll take us to court, you know. I don't think this heritage area will hold on in the legal challenge.
Why not? Council made that street a heritage area, didn't they?
Well, I got a heritage architect to give us expert opinion, and he was negative.
You didn't tell me about this.
Well, you were busy with the elections. What did he somewhere? He said he couldn't support a street of 1950s and 60s houses having anything to do with heritage.
Hey, no, I thought we agreed that if we didn't act to protect 50s and 60s houses now, we wouldn't have them for our heritage in the future.
Yeah, well, he also said that the 50s and 60s was a pretty unimpressive era. I've got it here somewhere.
Sounds like you've got the wrong heritage architect.
Well, you want me to get another opinion?
Yeah, I do, George. Professor or something. Professor so-and-so backs heritage declaration.
Yeah, but that's not the end of the bad news.
Mate, this is important. You know, some people seem to think that council is just a tin-pot little outfit of no consequence. I want to show that we have the power to determine the character of our local environment in accordance with the wishes of our citizens. Democracy, George. It's about democracy.
OK, well, I'll get another opinion.
Good.
And on the other matter...
What other matter?
Cemetery Point.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan Bartok would like to have lunch with you.
Right, what do you think, he's the right developer?
Well, he's one of the few that's big enough to handle it, and I trust him.
Because I wouldn't want anyone to think we'd brought Morgan in on this because of that holiday I had at that resort of his.
No, you're bringing him in because I recommended it.
Good, George. Mate, you suggested him, not me. And I've got nothing to hide on that holiday, by the way. Paid for it, got all the receipts.
Yeah, so I'll set up a lunch.
Good, George, good, because this local heritage thing's super important, but Cemetery Point, that's still tremendously exciting. I want to beat Frank Brodie, so I'm putting that at the top of the list at the moment.
What about ideas for the festival?
Yeah, but are we really convinced there's huge support out there for a
Well,
festival?
last week it was your top priority.
Oh, no, it's still on the list, but, you know, I'm aware that what people really care about is stopping this sort of ugly development. So I've come up with this idea of, building up a groundswell of community opinion, right? I've rung Barry at the Arcadian. He's going to meet us at Mrs. DeCosta's with a photographer, and he'll do a story on plucky little woman stands up to greedy developer. You like that?
And Mrs. DeCosta has said yes to this? Cole? I don't believe
He'll be
this.
okay.
You can't get a
She's a
journalist
fighter.
and a
Hey,
photographer
she's very
without getting her
fiery, mate.
permission
It's
first.
okay.
Ring her.
It's okay.
Where's your mobile? I
haven't got it.
I don't believe you.
No, I'll put it down somewhere. I don't know.
Have you thought what this will do to your story if you meet Barry with a photographer and in front of them, Mrs. DeCosta says no? I don't understand why this is so important to you that you take a risk
Look, it's
like
the most
this.
important thing that councils do, you know? Look after the area people live in and stand up to ugly and inappropriate development. Unfortunately, a lot of councils have been done on this lately. All right, bad court decisions, and if I can show that a council can stand up to a greedy developer...
You'll be a hero.
No, I don't think of things that way.
Crap. You want to be the big man at the next local government conference.
Very strange sometimes, mate. I thought you knew me. I'm the most open, honest, transparent, straight up and down mayor you're ever likely to meet.
Ah, liar.
All right, that's where it is. Well done.
I just want to make sure that this story doesn't lead to more trouble for Cheryl.
Well, wouldn't he be a mug if he does something to her after we run the story?
He is a mug.
Mate, I'll have to leave you with this. My father's been taken to hospital. My mother's not handling it too well.
Is there anything I can do?
Just look after Cheryl, will you? And I'm sorry, you're going to have to get a taxi back. Got to go.
Sorry, Cheryl. See ya.
Mayor's mercy dash to Dad. What do you reckon?
I know what I saw. She had a poster in one hand and she was putting one up. I caught her in the act.
I'm sure you did.
There's a conspiracy against me, Greg, and Liz and Helen are right in the middle
I
of
have
it.
spoken to Liz, okay?
Protect me from this
I have
terrible
demanded
argument.
an
I need a knight in shining armour. But it's not you, is it,
okay?
Greg?
I'm-
You're too busy making excuses and shilly-shallying and taking the money we pay you and doing absolutely nothing.
No. This is typical of you, councillors. You expect me to drop everything and concentrate on some petty vendetta over some trivial incident with a silly little poster that no one saw, and meanwhile you ignore the alarm bells I'm ringing. Huge alarm bells that I'm ringing over Liz's area, i.e. what is happening in childcare. Are our buildings up to standard? Is it jobs for the girls down there? Are they just part-time do-gooders, or do we have proper professional staff? And if we do have to come up to standard, what will it cost? i.e. what is the true cost of running childcare, and can we continue to do it?
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, it is pretty here, Greg, but I'm not really here for a holiday, am I? A few more days, hard to tell. Yeah, so emergency calls only if you wouldn't mind, Greg, except don't have any emergencies. Thanks, Greg.
Liz,
Look at this. Your children at risk.
I ordered you double strength. You're a mind reader.
Our buildings are safe. Our staff are competent and professional. We have to be in order to pass government inspection. They wouldn't continue to give us funding if we weren't up to standard.
In other words, you're telling us that not one thing in the papers is true.
That's right.
And are the fees going to rise?
Sorry I'm late, but did anyone ring the mayor about this?
But as soon as he gets back, I'm sure he would be more than happy.
It's all right, it's just a kitten.
Is it?
It's not a kitten. That's a rat.
Oh, great. What? We just have to leave this meeting. Please stay.
Please don't go. Please don't. Let's sort this out.
Stay. Sorry, we can arrange a meeting with the mayor next week. I'm really sorry about that.
After half an hour of explaining to them carefully that not one of the stories in the paper is true, one of them rings Biddy and tells her about the bloody rat. So, you know, expect to see on the next front page, rat plague in childcare centre, wanted Pied Piper. We think it came from a nearby restaurant where they're a bit slack with their garbage disposal. We've dropped them in. 2 coffees. There are no rats in the childcare centre, of course. What would you like me to do? I don't know. I'd like you to be aware of the problem we have with Biddy.
Well, I don't approve of what she's doing either, but I think I can understand some of her motives, can't you?
Not really, no.
She must know how much some of the staff in your section don't like her.
Can you blame them?
Yeah, but when did this thing start?
I haven't convinced you, have I?
I'm sorry. I came into local government to be involved in the big issues of planning and building,
not soft, girly things like childcare, libraries and Meals on Wheels.
I was going to say, I've always tried to stay away from the petty games of office politics.
Oh. I'm sorry, it's just that you're a politician now. You'll be up to your neck in it. Did you look properly? Go and look.
Nothing else is in there except that horrible chicken curry.
Go and look at the use-by date. I'll wait.
You still here?
Yeah, I'm just going through some papers from Monday night's meeting to make sure no one sneaked in anything I should know about.
Well, can I trust you to look up?
Is that the thing to do with the key?
I can't read it.
OK, so we got 1 ravioli, 1 ancient chicken vindaloo, and everything else in this broccoli.
I'm not having the curry.
Look, I'm going to hang up now so I can finish what I'm doing and come home, OK?
Can I have a Big Mac?
No, you have the ravioli and I will have the vintage chicken curry.
What's Nana going to have?
She can have the broccoli. She bought it. I'll see you soon. Good girl. Bye. You rat. Wait! Greg! Hey. You can't do this, Greg. You can't put in a recommendation to raise childcare fees without discussing it with me.
It was a unanimous decision of the Finance Committee.
Unanimous.
Completely.
The Finance Committee is you and Biddy and Colin Beryl.
I don't understand the problem.
Colin Beryl are away, so this finance committee was just you and Biddy?
It was smaller than usual.
Two? You call it unanimous?
I spoke to Beryl on the phone. I tried to contact Cole, but he wasn't picking up his messages.
There hasn't been enough discussion about this for it to go to a council meeting.
Look, we'll see what happens at the meeting.
No, I'd like you to take it off the agenda, actually.
I can't do that, Liz. You know, the finance committee were very unanimous.
Mended any fences lately?
Gordon, that's not my style to go begging. I'll wait till Sal and Karen want something, and when they do, I'll be very generous.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Coffee.
Thanks, Janice.
How's your dad?
Well, he's back at home with Mum, finally. He's paralysed down one side. I mean, you can understand what he's saying, but he gets very tired with the effort.
I'll tell Greg you're here.
OK, thanks, Janice.
How's your father?
Well, he's back at home with Mum, but he's paralysed down one side. Glad to be home, though.
I'm sorry to jump straight to business, Cole, but you have read your agenda, haven't you?
Yep.
Did you see the recommendation on childcare fees?
Remind me.
Well, Greg slipped in a recommendation for a whacking great rise in childcare fees. And you agree with it?
What, the finance committee? Did they have a meeting while I was away?
Biddy and Greg did, and Beryl by phone.
OK, don't worry.
Hello, Cole. Peaceful break?
Well, difficult, I'd say, under the circumstances, Greg. Looks like you've been busy, though.
I'm always busy. Oh, sorry, Cole. How's your father?
He's back at home with Mum, but he's paralysed down one side.
Moving on to item 1614.
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Bond.
This is completely one of the worst. It's far too big. The height. And it's ugly. Forget your lovely houses. Take a last look at them. Won't be there much. And the magnificent trees. Just bring in the bulldozer.
Councillor Bond.
No respect.
Harry.
If these people think they... How dare
Harry.
they ask us to... What?
You sure you're on item 1614? This is an application to put an exhaust fan in a bathroom window.
Point of order.
Councillor Marchant.
Do we really have to waste our time in every
No, we don't.
meeting?
If you're up to speed now, Councillor Bond, I'll put it to the vote unless there are any further questions.
Point of order.
Yes, what now,
You didn't
Councillor
allow me to
Marchant?
finish.
You're making a comment, not a point of order. Item 1614, acceptance recommended. Those in favour? Those against? Motion
Pass some
carried.
kind of senility test.
That'll do.
What did she say?
Moving on.
Or a hearing test.
That's enough.
I want to know what she said.
Try and stay with the agenda, Councillor Bond. We're moving on to item 1615, which is, I think, the item you were preparing for.
I'd like to speak to this.
Councillor Trujillo.
Point one. Frank Brodie is a well-known and successful developer.
You heard what she
Second point.
say?
This is a legitimate developer's
You heard
application.
what she said? What do you mean you didn't listen?
Councillor Bond, quiet, please.
I'm just trying to find out what she said.
No sideline chat. Councillor Trujillo.
Thank you. Third point. Council has recklessly rejected this on 2 previous occasions. Point 4. A small minority opposed this. Only a small minority. Point 5. The heritage order is not supported by expert opinion.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Trujillo.
Hang on, my time's not up.
Yeah, I know, I'm calling a 5-minute adjournment.
Put it to the vote.
Calling a 5-minute adjournment.
Is Frank Brodie paying you?
Of course not. No.
Why did you put a negative heritage assessment in the agenda papers?
Well, I had to.
No, you did not have to, George. You could have waited till we got a positive one and put that one aside.
Look, I'm having a hard time to find anyone who'll stand up in court and say that a street of very ordinary-looking 1950s and 60s houses deserves a heritage order.
Well, you're not looking hard enough. Didn't I tell you? Get an academic. You always get an academic who's swearing a stack of Bibles he agrees with you.
Cole, this is going to court, and as you know, the judges are never very impressed if I say, Your Honour, the Mayor told me to do it.
So you want these monstrosities to get built, do you?
Cole, I'm a public servant. I have to base my recommendations on rules and precedent.
Right, and that is why you recommended acceptance.
I had to do it.
Right.
Karen, can I have a quick word with you?
I'm sorry to hear about your father.
Oh, he's doing much better, thanks. Look, if I hadn't been away, I would have been able to talk to you about this. It is most important that you support her vote to reject this DA. Frank Brodie's a thug and a bully. Now, you listen to Mrs DaCosta about how Brodie's tried to intimidate her, and I trust you've had a look at the drawings for this.
Yep.
What do you think?
I hate those kind of buildings.
You wouldn't want to try and stop them?
Yeah, but I'm also concerned about councils trying to make a set of decisions.
Yeah, but Karen, you're an architect. You've got to vote to reject this. Otherwise, one day you'll be driving down Benelong Street, you'll think to yourself, geez, how do these ugly monstrosities get built? And you'll think, oh, that's right, I voted in favour of them.
You're very persuasive.
You'll do it?
I feel better if I've tried.
OK, one more thing. There's another piece later on in the agenda on childcare.
Yeah, Liz has been talking to me about that. I'm sorry, but if there's an argument in favour of an increase...
No, there isn't. Trust me and vote against it.
can't agree to that sort of last-minute backroom deal.
You agree on the Brody one?
Yeah, I do.
But not on childcare
I want to
fees?
hear all the arguments.
Right, thanks, Carol. All right, a job for you. Shove this into a pocket or something, Irene.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if I give you the signal, pass it on to Harry, right?
It's your father, Cole.
Take it home, much better, thanks.
That's the German, everyone. Back to the meeting.
Then for about a week, there's one of these in my letterbox every day. Nothing for a while until this. Does it affect me? Yes, I don't like it. It scares me. But I won't let my fear stop me from standing up to this bully.
Time's up, Mrs. DeCosta. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I have nothing more to say. Except he is a bully. Who knows if he doesn't bully people, he wouldn't be building these slums of tomorrow. He shouldn't be allowed to build anything. He should be in jail.
I get a right to reply to this crap.
No, Mr. Brody, you had your turn earlier.
I object to this.
Send me a letter.
I move approval of the application.
But despite everything you've heard, you move approval.
What happened to the chair being neutral?
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing to connect these things, which I agree are very unpleasant, with Frank Brody. For all we know, it could have been an over-enterprising estate agent.
Oh, sure.
So I move approval.
I second.
In that case, those in favour? Those against? Motion is lost. The application is rejected.
Bunch of idiots. I'll just take you on in court now.
I'm going to beat you there too, Frank. Next item, 1616.
I understand you're an expert on rats.
I'm sorry, Councillor Marchant, is that a question?
How many rats are there in the childcare centres?
Oh, I don't think there are any.
You don't think there are?
None that I know of.
So you admit there are some?
I'm sure there are not.
So if I went around to childcare centres today, can you guarantee I wouldn't find any rats in
Can you guarantee I wouldn't find any rats in your home?
I didn't ask for this
I
insolence.
think you did, Councillor Marchant, and I cannot see what this has to do with childcare fees.
Because I think we're doing a bad job because we're underpricing the service, and the ratepayers who subsidise it are paying too much. We shouldn't even be in the business of childcare. However, so long as we are, let's charge a realistic price.
Here.
Councillor Chung?
Yes?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were trying to catch my eye. Apparently you were not. Carry on. Councillor Marchant, your time's nearly up.
I just wanted to make one more point. I've said before that we should sell childcare, let the private sector take care of it. But in the meantime, let's charge a realistic fee that sends all the right price signals to the market. So I move approval.
A deaf, senile old fool!
Order.
You nasty little private school
Objection! How?
married to a capitalist.
Objection! How dare you! How dare you talk to me like that, you silly old common! Haven't you heard Marxist? You completed Labour has been...
Councillors, resume your seats, councillors. I'm sorry, but I've warned councillors about this. I will not put up with this sort of behaviour. I'm closing the meeting.
What?
There was a motion on the table.
No, it never made the table. The meeting is closed. However, I would like the Minister to recall that Councillor Marchant and Councillor Bond were both involved in unruly behaviour.
Sorry, Greg, you didn't quite get to your item.
Cole thinks he's won this one. But the worst thing he can do is delay it. He can't stop you making a very generous offer for childcare. One the councillors will all go for. But he tells me the new councillor's all in favour of it. And if we put the fees up now, it'll make your service all the more commercially attractive. Of course, what she doesn't know is that if we put the fees up now, council will cop all the flack, and you won't have to put them up when you take over.
I did tell you I've only got half an hour.
Yeah, I was just going to... Right. Yeah, Greg Dominelli. Yeah, Janice, look, I'm out on a survey at the moment. Yeah, right, so it might be a bit hard to get me for a while, okay? Yeah, about an hour. Yeah. What's the matter?
You answered your phone. You came here with me and you didn't switch off your mobile. But what's worse, you answered it. You got a lot to learn, Greg.
Yeah, but... How... Hey...
We've given up on ideas for the festival.
I thought you'd gone off it.
No, I didn't.
You said it wasn't a priority.
I said it wasn't a top priority, still a priority.
So you do still want to have a festival?
Yeah, it'd been one of the best things we do all year.
Okay. Talk to Liz.
You in a hurry tonight?
Oh, got to feed the cat sometime, that's all.
Tell me something funny. My mother tells me that, you know, when I'm not there, Father's actually very proud of me.
How's he doing?
Well, he's making progress. It's very slow, but, oh, yeah, he's improving. You know, like, to me, I can't actually remember a time when he said anything like, you know, like, well done, Col, you've done well.
This is depressing.
Yeah, it is a bit.
No, I mean, I thought there was a point in your life where you got old enough not to worry about what your parents thought. Obviously not.
Look, the lawyers are being very positive. The councillors and the staff are right behind us. We're going to win this one, Cheryl.
I hope you're right.
I tell you, there is one thing you could do, though, that would really clinch it. What we need is a local protest group. All right, something to show the courts that people around here have said very loud and very clear they want to stop Frank Brodie and they want to stop his ugly buildings.
Unfortunately, most of the neighbours have already sold to Frank Brodie.
Yeah, you know, surrounding streets. Needs a letterbox campaign, petition, you know, local meeting, that sort of thing.
Then he'd really hate me, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, but it'd clinch it, though, Cheryl. It'd absolutely clinch it. Good on you. What's his name? Michael Lemoignon. Oh, yeah, no, he's a guy with a wall or something. Yeah, oh, look, apologise to him for me, will you please, Janice? Say I've been called away unavoidably and I'm really sorry it's happened again. Now, hang on, I've got a better idea. Take him into my office, see if he wants a cup of tea or something, and get him to ring me now. Yeah, give him a mobile number. OK, thanks, Janice.
Hello.
Hello. You want another coffee?
Didn't realise that being on council would mean so many cups of coffee.
Oh, yeah, the coffee is very good, though.
You want a commission or something?
Julie, 2 coffees? Sure. Thanks, Dale.
Do you want to take that?
No, it's much more important I talk to you about this court case.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm worried we won't get away with the heritage classification.
No, we're cool. We've got 3 professors who'll back us on that. One from Sydney, one from Melbourne, and we've got an international heritage expert from Copenhagen.
Victor, Biddy and Gordon all tell me if we go to court, we'll lose.
Right, well, it's not what our lawyers say.
When do lawyers ever say they lose?
Yeah, fair enough. But, I mean, we've got the top guy in the field. Doesn't take on cases if he thinks he won't win. It's not good for his very expensive reputation.
Oh, if he's so sure he'll win, will he waive his fee if he doesn't?
Look, now, we could do a whole series of lawyer jokes here, Karen, but what is the point of coming onto council to have an involvement in planning and building, which is what you said you wanted to do, if you don't back our right to control what gets built?
Yes, it is what I wanted to do, but you made me chair of Community and Cultural Resources when I said I wanted to chair planning and building.
Right. I detect a bit of wheeling and dealing here.
Well, we could come to some sort of agreement on this.
Right, so you'll back me on the court case if I move you into planning and building?
Something like that.
You'll abandon Cheryl DaCosta, you'll let Frank Brodie knock down all those houses and build one of his monstrosities if you don't get what you want.
Probably not.
No, see, if you're going to do a deal, Karen, you've got to have something to bargain with.
I realise this is a political decision, Cole, but you've just heard Andrews say we don't have a very strong case.
No, I didn't say that.
Sorry, I thought you said...
No, I said it'd be nicer to have a stronger case, but I didn't say we had a weak case.
OK, if I could just clarify the situation here. This is a fight you want to take on, Cole, to show the community you support them, but it's a fight you don't expect to win.
Yeah, I expect to win.
No, you mean you'd like to win?
No, we're going to win. We can win, can't we, Andrew?
Yeah, I think we can win. With a couple of the country's top silks up there in front of us.
Sorry, top silks?
We need a good team.
You mean expensive silks?
Well, top silks don't come cheaply, but they do improve your chances of winning.
OK, if I could just restate the position, though. You want to take this to court, but at this point in time, Council have not yet voted to go along with you.
But they will.
Do you think you can get the support of Biddy and her lot?
Democracy, Greg. I only need a majority. Andrew will explain that to you.
Yeah. Although, if it's only a slender majority, it could be argued that council and therefore the community are divided on the matter. Whereas, if you got unanimous support, you'd be looking pretty good.
Unanimous support?
It'd be a real plus.
Right, well, I better work on getting unanimous support. That includes you, Greg. Right, this is important. This is a biggie. This is democracy in action. And I've got to go. Thanks for coming in, Andrew. Yep. Leave you two to sort the details out.
Cole, if you could just excuse me just a moment.
Out for the rest of the day, Janice. Meetings, then TAFE.
Cole, I have to remind you of something which I'd be failing in my duty if I didn't point out.
We're broke.
No, we're flat broke. We don't have the money for your expensive legal battles over lost causes.
Hey, you heard the man. We're going to win.
Just declared war on New Zealand, oh dear. He has someone with him.
Thanks, Janice. Greg, you get a minute?
I am in a meeting, Col.
It's urgent, mate.
I'm in a meeting?
Yeah, it's a legal matter. Needs your expert advice. Frank Brody have sent Cheryl DeCosta this, all right? He's suing her for defamation over what she said about him in a notice she put around the neighbourhood.
Oh, very charming. But is it anything to do with us?
Of course it's to do with us. We can't have a situation where if someone objects to a development, they get sued.
Show it to me again.
There's a very nice-looking woman in your office, Greg.
We're not joining this. This is just Brody versus DeCosta.
Yeah, but she can't afford the legal fees to fight this.
So?
Well, I think we should offer to pay him.
We can't give her a blank cheque.
You can't say we won't help her.
Look, I have to say this, Cole, OK? I'd be failing in my duty if I didn't. Don't make any promises to her. You cannot commit counsel to something that's open-ended and may set a precedent. Before you know it, you'll have every idiot around here, and there are plenty of them, getting sued and expecting us to pay for it. No, it's not on, Cole.
Mate,
it's not on.
Hey, if we don't back her, Brody gets away with a shocking intimidation.
What are you implying, by the way?
That we should support her.
No. About the woman in my office.
What? Well, nothing. No, she's a good-looking woman.
Yeah, Cheryl DeCosta's not bad-looking either.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I'm just saying the same thing about you as you're saying about
Yeah,
me.
all right, Greg. I'll speak to some of the other councillors about this.
George Hasnikoff?
Yeah?
I've been trying to get in touch with one of your building inspectors.
Do we have an appointment?
No, I've given up on appointments. I've received a number of threatening letters telling me I have to pull down half my new house because apparently a wall is a few millimetres too close to a boundary. Now, I've wasted hours at your front desk. I've tried ringing Carl Johnson, the building inspector. I've left messages, but he won't get back to me.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't help you.
Why can't you?
It's the way of the new century. The building inspectors are no longer our employees, you see. They're independent contractors, and this keeps them free of corrupting influences. They work from home, and we deal with them by fax or email. And if it's any consolation to you, Carl Johnson doesn't return my calls either.
Oh, great. Then what can I do?
Oh, contact the mayor.
The mayor?
Yeah, go to the top, make a lot of noise about it. This is local government. If you've got a wall that's too close to the boundary and it's a problem, maybe we could move the boundary.
Move the boundary?
Yeah, go and see the mayor. You'll need to make an appointment, though.
What do you think your mayor sees up there on that headland?
I think he'd like to see a photo of himself cutting a ribbon or a street named after him.
If he can persuade the church, he deserves no less. An award, maybe.
Oh, he'd like that.
Yeah, not a knighthood, of course. I quite agree they should have been stopped. Regrettably, they were stopped just before I would have had one.
Sir Morgan Bartok.
Why not? Yeah, we all know they've gone to much worse villains than I. For example, you should have had one, George.
I think I'd prefer something a bit more tangible.
What'd you call it? Your superannuation scheme?
I like that. Yeah, and the car.
Yeah, of course, the car. We couldn't have a superannuated former head of building and planning in an unimpressive car, could we, George? They send the wrong signals to the development industry.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to get the numbers on council to make this work, you're going to have to convince the new independent, Karen Schumacher.
Ah, yes. Tell me all about Mrs. Karen Schumacher.
Mr. Bartok.
I'm honoured to meet you, Miss Schumacher. Quite a few people I know have described you in the most flattering terms.
Really? Who are these people and what do they say?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
What would you like to drink?
Mineral water, thanks.
Of course. Now, I hope you'll forgive me if I talk about myself for a moment. It will help to explain why I wanted to meet you. I'm a simple man who somehow stumbled into being a builder. I've made a lot of money building moderately successful buildings. And now I'd like to do better.
You'd like to make even more money.
I would like to build better buildings.
Or perhaps you should hire better architects.
But how would a simple man like me with no education in architecture and design know if one architect is better than another?
I think the firm I work for does pretty good work.
Thank you. Well, now we can relax and enjoy our lunch.
Yes, well, if you're at all concerned about free speech, it's a worrying development. There's all sorts of nasty individuals out there using the law as a very blunt instrument to beat up on anyone who wants to object to what they're doing.
So we can support Mrs. DeCosta?
Oh, certainly we can, but we need her in court to paint a picture of Brodie as the sort of lout who would put the frighteners on a woman living on her own.
Yeah, right. Now, you see that, Greg? This is what's going to win the case for us.
Of course, the judge will rule it as inadmissible.
He has to make his judgment based purely on planning law, not whether or not Brodie's a nice man.
But we'll argue the case forcefully. Brodie's side will paint a picture of him as the poor, aggrieved businessman simply trying to make an honest buck. We will expose him as a bully and a standover merchant.
In other words, despite Brodie's tactics and despite all the money that we're spending flying Professor Van der Hoeven over from Denmark and all the money we're spending on all the other experts, we could still lose.
There's always that possibility. However, we will argue that we are sound on planning law, the Heritage Declaration is sound, and that a win for a fellow like Brodie would cause consternation and alarm throughout the community and diminish respect for the law.
Which the judge will rule inadmissible, but we'll
say it anyway.
It's not too late to pull out of this, Colin. I should point out you've yet to take it to council.
Yes, well, Greg, I've got majority support. I'm working on making it unanimous.
You'll have to do that pretty quickly. We're in court in 10 days.
Yes, I'm taking it to the meeting tonight.
Well, you're not asking for much, are you? Agreement to go to court and spend thousands and thousands of ratepayers' dollars, not to mention paying Mrs. DaCosta's legal fees.
Oh, well, I think there are times when you've got to put politics aside, Biddy.
When have you ever put politics aside?
I'm doing it now.
I'd like to work with you, Cole. I'd love to work with you on a lot of things, but you won't let me.
Yeah, I'm inviting you to.
I know, but you forget a lot of people voted for me, and for Victor and Gordon and Sal. But whenever we bring something to council, you block us. You make bloody sure we get nothing through, and all of a sudden you want to put politics aside?
What do you want, Biddy?
All I've ever wanted is what's best for Arcadia Waters.
Mr. Dunkley.
What?
Mike Lemoynier. Hi.
Oh, Mr. Lemoynier. Hey, look, I'm sorry I had to cancel that.
Oh, don't worry, we can talk now.
Now's not what I'd call a real good time.
Seems like a good a time as any to me. Now, one of your building inspectors, Carl Johnson, has ordered me to knock down a wall. Well, half a house, really, because the wall is 85 millimetres too close to a boundary.
Who says?
Carl Johnson.
No, who says it's too close?
The surveyor.
We'll get another one.
Get another what?
Well, surveyors make mistakes, you know. Get a second opinion. Tell your second surveyor your problem, see what he can do for you. Who knows, Mr. Lemoynier? That wall of yours might be where it should be after all.
Greg Dominelli? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. I'm in a meeting.
It comes down to a simple choice. Either we back down, we let Brodie walk all over us.
No way.
We go to court, we fight him.
I so move.
Right, do you want to actually frame the motion, Councillor Bond?
We all know. Court bizzo?
I second the motion. We all know what we're talking
For
about.
the benefit of the minutes, I think what Councillor Bond is saying is that he moves that Council agrees to go to court over the Brodie application, and we agree to bear all costs, including any costs borne by Mrs. DaCosta in a defamation action.
That's right, yeah.
All those in favour? Motion carried unanimously. Don't think there's any other business, is there?
Just one thing, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Marchant?
Almost every day I still get a call from one parent or another with their worries. Are childcare fees going up? Will we still be running childcare next year? Now, the local paper won't let this issue die. Don't you think it's about time we took the big step and put it out to the private sector?
Amir, if I could jump in here, I've just received, just the other day, an offer from a private contractor who would be more than happy to take over the service.
You've had an offer, Greg?
From a very successful private childcare operator.
That's a coincidence?
Life does have these coincidences.
How did anyone know we'd be interested in an offer?
She didn't. Oh, they didn't. It just came in on spec.
Brought in by a very attractive courier, was it, Greg?
Can I see it? Don't we normally have to tender for these things?
Yes, yeah, we do.
Normally we would, but it is within the power of council if council so wishes.
I don't think so, Greg.
I couldn't agree to just hand something over like this.
No, I don't mind calling tenders. We might find someone better than these people.
Or cheaper.
I move we call for tenders for someone to take over the childcare service.
I second.
Mr. Mayor.
Can we make that expressions of interest? All right, all those in favour of the motion with the words expression of interest. Those against? Councillor Schumacher?
Abstain.
Councillor Bond, what are you doing?
Wow. Flabbergasted.
I'll take that as against. Motion carried. No other business? In that case, meeting closed.
I can't believe you just traded childcare for a planning issue.
No, we haven't.
You just passed a motion.
A call for expressions of interest. We'll just see if there's any interest out there. That's all.
Listen, we have not voted to sell off childcare, Liz, and we won't. Don't worry, Liz, it'll be all right.
What happened? They all know what's going on. We didn't.
I was under a lot of pressure.
We were all on the phone call.
Look, I found out this morning, but I had to get unanimous support from council to fight Brodie. To get that, I had to cut a deal with Biddy. That is all.
Oh, no.
But we've always promised we'd never sell off
Frank, the best way to beat this privatisation is to call for expressions of interest. When they come in, we see no one out there is going to pay the sort of money Greg and Biddy think will get. It'll knock the idea on the head for good.
You're right.
But you just
It'll be all right, Harry. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
I can see your father's problem. Sometimes, Cole, it's bloody hard to be proud of you.
Yeah, and sometimes I have to do what I think is right, regardless of what anyone else will think.
Cole, I need to understand what happened in there.
One of the hardest things about being in government at any level is the tough decisions you've got to make. Now, I think we do a pretty good job with childcare, but I have to balance us continuing to run it ourselves against the greater need to protect the role of local government. I mean, if we can't stop shysters like Frank Brodie walking all over us and building whatever he likes, then what are we here for?
Apart from too many cups of terrible tea and bad coffee.
Exactly.
A report into local government released today finds that more councils are spending a greater proportion of their budgets in court battles over development. Citing the report as further evidence of the need for more state government involvement in planning, the Minister for Local Government reserved his strongest criticism for the Mayor of Arcadia Waters.
Only yesterday, this council, which is prey to the monumental ego of Mayor Cole Dunkley, wasted hundreds of thousands of ratepayers' dollars on a court case which should never have happened. Doesn't he want jobs in this area?
Brilliant. Barry, hi. I just want to clarify a couple of my quotes. Coles, what? A press conference? That's a hoot. What could he possibly say? Oops, I'm in a mistake.
Cole's in there, isn't he?
Yes, Helen, he is. And I've got a blinding headache today, Helen. Thank you for asking.
Well, tell Dad not to take any notice, Mum. No, it's politics, Mum. It's just No, I'm fine. But listen, tell Dad to watch the late news for a bit of good news for a change. No, I can't tell you what it is. Just make sure you watch. All right, bye, Mum. This is Biddy. Her husband's a mate of the Minister.
I've just been talking to Barry at the Arcadia News.
Yeah, I talked to him before.
So you know that Biddy will be on the front page tomorrow, attacking you all over this?
I knew this was wrong. I knew we shouldn't be doing it.
Brodie rang. He's going to start demolition. I don't think we can stop it.
But we can always appeal to a higher court.
I don't think I can support you on that, Cole.
Will Cheryl go along with an appeal?
Well, I'm about to go and see her now.
And you'll be back in time for the press conference.
Sorry, what press conference?
What, I've asked him to organise a press conference, Greg. Is that all right?
Well, I should warn you, as General Manager, I think, with the Minister for Local Government breathing down our necks...
Mate, it's just a press conference.
No, you've lost the case. You've got the Minister attacking you. What are you going to say?
2 rules, Greg. Never cancel a press conference and always have a plan B.
I had a phone call from Frank Brodie's solicitors.
Right.
They offered to drop the defamation case if I sell my house to him.
Well, he obviously wants to take advantage of his win today and make this an even bigger development.
Well, what did you say?
What do you think I said? Yes.
Oh, now, come on, Cheryl. We want to appeal this court case. We'll pay your legal fees. And is Frank Brodie offering you a fair price for your house?
You're worse than Frank Brodie. You make promises you can't keep. I've had enough.
You don't want to give
get as
up.
far away from this place as I can so I don't have to watch what happens next.
Cheryl!
I don't want to know.
Oh, come on, Cheryl! Yeah, life does have its low points.
I'm starting to think that's all it has.
Oh, it can be depressing, yeah. However, life goes on. Want to come with me for a pickup?
I'm not much of a drinker.
Who said anything about drinking? Yet. People are too ready to write us off here in Arcadia Waters. They love to look down their noses at us and tell us we can't do anything good here. Well, to those doubters, I say, cop this. Now, I promise you a festival, and boy, are we going to have one. In September this year, we are going to have a spring seaside festival starring the internationally famous star of opera, Dame Kerry Takanawa, singing songs of the sea on the beach right here in Arcadia Waters.
Has he really got Dame Kerry?
Complete the simple sentence. Arcadia Waters needs a festival because...
Also puts us on the map.
Dame Kiri's voice floating across the dunes. This is Cole Dunkley's dream, and I intend to make it happen.
Danza Constructions is suing me.
What's he suing you for?
Defamation.
Always try to settle out of court.
Oh, you're grandstanding, Councillor Marchant. Sit down. Resume your seat immediately. Councillor Marchant, I won't warn you again.
You are trying to tell us
Councillor Marchant will resume her seat.
Darling, I think you've got what it takes to single-handedly tear the hind legs off an entire herd of antelope in full flight.
You know what Max just asked me? What? To keep that crashing ball Biddy out of anything to do with the festival. Great idea, but apart from nailing a feet to the...
I'm not going to let you kill this festival. It will be scaled down, of course, but everyone will think it's tremendous, including and especially you. One wrong word and the deal's off.